Hey nerds, it is Thursday, June 2nd, 2016, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about my favorite social media platform, Twitter. Twitter is probably the most popular social media platform for writers. It also happens to be pretty popular with agents too. So not only is Twitter great for connecting with readers, if you one day want to be traditionally published, it's a great way to connect with agents, get to know them, get to figure out what they're looking for. So today I have a few recommendations of people and hashtags to pay attention to on Twitter if you think that you might one day need to query some agents. First up is Julia A. Weber. Her Twitter handle is @JAWLitAgent. Julia Weber is always tweeting about the issues that she finds in queries, the things that turn her and other agents off. Of course, every agent has different preferences, different pet peeves, but Julia does a great job of focusing on things that tend to be common for most, if not all, agents. If you pay attention to her Twitter feed and listen to what she has to say, I can almost guarantee that you will not make a stupid mistake in your query that will cause an agent to just throw it away. The other agent that you should definitely be following is Amy Boggs. Her Twitter handle is @NotJustAnyBoggs, 2 G's. Amy does a thing called Query Lunch. She does it as a hashtag, so you can also just look up #QueryLunch if you want to specifically find those tweets. Usually about once a week, Amy will go through some of the queries in her inbox while she eats lunch, and she tweets about each one, the strengths and the weaknesses, whether she's going to pass on it or request more. Amy's Query Lunch just does a good job of showing you what agents are looking for, what they're not looking for. She usually talks about the genre of the sample pages she's looking at, so you can see what maybe are some of the tropes the agents are getting tired of. Both Amy and Julia give a lot of great advice on querying that can help you avoid some of the really common, easy to avoid mistakes. As for hashtags to keep an eye on, if you think you will ever need to query a manuscript, you should keep an eye on #QueryTip. There are a lot of agents and agent interns out there, and sure, you could follow all of them on Twitter if you want to. Personally, I don't like to have my Twitter feed that clogged up. So what I do is I keep an eye on the QueryTip hashtag because that is where both agents and their interns tend to put little bits of advice about things you should and shouldn't be doing in your queries and in your sample pages. You can also find a lot of these interns in #10queries. A lot like Amy Boggs' Query Lunch, a lot of agent interns will use 10 queries to go through their slush pile. They'll pick out 10 submissions and they'll tell you about them, tell you what's wrong with them, what's good about them, whether they're going to accept them and request more or just pass on them and move to the next one. Last up is a hashtag that I believe we've talked about before on this channel, and that is #MWL. It stands for Manuscript Wishlist. It can help you figure out which agents you should be sending your manuscript to. Use it to talk about the kinds of stories that they are looking for, what they would really like to read. So if you find an agent saying that they really want a vampire murder mystery story and you've written one of those, submit it to that agent. Clarify, send it if it's ready, if it's edited, if you have a good query, you have good sample pages. Don't send it before it's ready just because an agent says they want that kind of story. If you have a story that's ready and you find an agent in the #MSWL who is looking for that kind of novel, submit it to them. Let them know that you noticed it on the manuscript wish list and maybe they'll be interested. That is it for today. Are there any specific agents or hashtags that you pay attention to on Twitter that have helped you with learning how to query or submit or anything regarding the publishing process? Down in the comments, and I'll see you guys this Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Time. We are finally going to have another write-in. It's been a while and I think we all need it.